In our last video, we talked about our theory on the constellations, how they are the foundational blueprints for all life. If you have not already watched it, I have linked it in the top right and in the description. Make sure you take a look at that one first and come right back to discover some of the major implications it could have on our world. We touched briefly on how the Titans are connected to these blueprints, but there are some major questions that need answering. It will lead us down a rabbit hole so deep that even the void may be peering right back at us. Stay to the end to hear the dark secrets this may uncover. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and come, take a seat by the fire. Before we go further, it is important to note that we will be working from the assumption that the theory in the previous video is correct. Of course, it is entirely possible we were wrong, but it does lead to some fun speculation either way. I would also like to give a special shout out to Etch, who really helped in rounding out the ideas here. The creation of life as we know it appears to be a trifecta. Spirit or anima comprising the soul, blood and the elements comprising the body, and a schematic or blueprint in the form of a constellation. This is exactly how we have seen the process time and time again, and most notably what we saw in Pandaria. All questioning on this inevitably leads us to the same place, to Ulduar, to the constellation statues that we see lining the walls as they take on a whole new meaning. We see elves and Tauren, many schematics of others are there. The first and most obvious assumption this led to was perhaps the Keepers of Ulduar, in an effort to catalogue or study, or perhaps even to create a new type of Titan forged, had made these blueprints. It would make sense. There were Tauren and elves that had recently evolved from the nascent troll species. However, we must remember Ulduar was under the control of Loken, and thus Yogg-Saron at the time. After the events of the Winterscorn War, this facility was pretty much held in maintenance mode. It was said that it took all of Yogg's strength to maintain the connection through his prison. Slowly but surely, he was attempting to break himself free. However, if no real work was being done in this area, then how did these schematics get made? The emergence of the species that appear here do not match the timeline as far as we know it. While it is possible that some form of species have begun to show up, in the case of the Tauren, and perhaps some investigation was being done on the effects of the well on the native trolls, it does seem unlikely. The question then becomes, did the Titans in some way seed these races? In the case of the elves at least, this would be entirely useful for the Titan Forged. Like the Bene Gesserit from the Dune series, infiltrating a culture early and seeding legends and rumours can be very beneficial. Imagine with us for a moment that you had become aware of the altering effects the Well of Eternity would have on the native populations of Azeroth. By applying a specific blueprint, you could seed a new and powerful race close to key vulnerable points on the world. This race would be highly spiritual and superstitious, and could easily be convinced that these areas you require protecting were, say, a gift from their goddess. The addictive quality of the intense magic, while granting them power and allowing them to flourish, would ensure the race would not deter from the path of protecting something they had become entirely dependent on. And the Gambit could have been considered a total success. That is, until hubris set in, and a series of disastrous events and abuses of power led to the invasion of Azeroth and the destruction of the well itself, causing the continent to be sundered. Similar purpose could have been intended for the early Shahalo people, or Tauren as we know them now, with the project being abandoned as the facility fell into disrepair. While an interesting theory, it does raise endless questions if true. How much of our history has been manipulated from us? Are we caught between opposing forces playing games with our lives? We know in the case of the goblins at least that the Titan Forged are not above altering species. While I leave it to you to decide how much manipulation from the Titan Forged you believe, the theory of the schematics does explain one more recent event in Azeroth, as well as some of the lore surrounding it. This takes us on a journey to the dream realm of Ny'alotha, the realm of the old gods in the Black Empire. The old gods have always had an obsession with gaining access to the dream. Its ability to provide refuge, as well as connect them across the universe, always seemed like the likeliest answer as to why. While they are still completely valid reasons, there is now a bigger connection we think we have revealed. If the dream holds the blueprints for life as we say, the Void, more so than any of the other cosmic powers, would have a vested interest in accessing their secrets. It is no secret that at least some of the members of the Void have longed to manifest themselves in the physical world. As we have seen, the process leaves them weakened and incorporeal, vulnerable. This is why they sent the old gods out into the great dark in their stead. But perhaps they did not give up so easily on this desire. Something pointed out to me was a reminder of the mechanic on the Radem fight. Void-touched essence was revealed here, and it could have far more reaching implications than we first thought. Has the Void been trying to co-opt the secrets of creating form, studying nature and how it relates to spirit, stealing blueprints and seeking the secrets of the Titan Forge they left behind? It was no coincidence that N'Zoth was targeting the Vale and Uldum. The second time we meet Il'gynoth, within Ny'alotha, he was so proud of his new body. We propose that he was the first successful subject, the culmination of this ancient work, to use the power of the Titans for themselves. N'Zoth's plan to bring Ny'alotha to Azeroth was not just about reviving the Black Empire. He would have had a powerful world soul, infused with the essence of the Void, enough Titan technology already built in, and access to the dream and all the blueprints of creation, as well as the knowledge on how to alter them now. If any of the Void Lords wanted a physical presence in the universe, a custom-built, perfect vessel would be the way to do it. This was a little deeper down the rabbit hole than most of our theories, but it was interesting to see how some of our speculation could be taken to its logical extreme when applied to the other cosmic forces in World of Warcraft. Have you found something we missed? Don't hesitate to tell us in the comments, or join us on the Discord and tell us there. Everyone is always more than welcome. Oh, and don't forget to come back anytime.